Okay, so here we are again, and it's a beautiful day here in the United Kingdom. It's raining and completely overcast and all that sort of stuff. Web TV again. Hello, Ada.
Hello, Gordon.
We've got special guests Gerrit and Melissa and Rufus from, now do we say ALLSPICE Yachting or we say...
STERNA.
STERNA, yeah. You can tell us.
Team is ALLSPICE Yachting, but the boat is called STERNA.
Yeah, cool. All right. So we're just going to have another chat. A couple of things to remember. We're here every morning. We start usually at about 10:30 in the morning, and it's always good to hang out. And the weekend's going to be quite fun. It's approaching fast, and apparently this rain is going to stop soon. And next week's going to be really good. We were just looking at it. Apparently it's going to be high coming, so it should be sunshine. Anyway, so straight into it.
We are today here with the owner of the boat, the chief mate, and the skipper of the boat, and it's the first time we have 3 people on board. So I'm very happy to be with all 3 of you, and very happy to see for the first time faces on the names that we read on internet. So the first question, to get it quick, the name of your boat is STERNA.
Yes.
That's a big project behind your circumnavigation. Let's start with the ALLSPICE Yachting. And when did you start it?
Okay, so we started ALLSPICE Yachting in 2017. We had a catamaran that we sailed as a family before that, but then we started to do some charters, registered as a commercial vessel in South Africa, and then we did a Cape to Rio race, a Cape to St. Helena race on the boat, and we did some research work with Greenpeace and filmmakers. We did a documentary on great white sharks, various things on the cat, and then the Golden Globe race happened in 2018. I was too late for that, and then we entered the Ocean Globe race, December 2019. Sold the cat, bought the boat, and then the drama started.
If I were to mention the fact that you're South African, it's a South African team. It's the only one we've got, following on from Kirsten, who was a South African team and won the Golden Globe race. So yachting is a big deal there, and I know the Royal Cape's pretty passionate about everything as well. So we're looking forward to getting down there. But Gerrit, you were one of the first to actually. I think we were starting to talk as soon as we announced the Ocean Globe race. And you had some ideas, and it was a struggle for a few years, but then it all came together. Try and explain when you heard of the race and what drew you into the Ocean Globe race.
Well, I heard about the Golden Globe race when you first announced it, about 2015 or 16 or whenever. But then when you announced the Golden Globe race, we almost immediately decided to enter. But it was we entered in December 2019, and then COVID happened in March, 4 months later. So it was quite difficult selling the boat during the lockdowns and then buying the new boat. Also, as South Africans, we weren't allowed to fly anywhere in the world. So when we sold the catamaran in Cape Town, we bought the boat sight unseen in Grenada. And then it took us about 5 months to get to the boat.
Yeah. Tell me the story about what you're looking for in a boat, because I know what you told me. Maybe I should say it.
Yeah, you say I wanted lots of crap. I can't remember everything.
He wanted to get a Nautilus Swan, obviously, because it qualified. And he said he was looking for the cheapest Nautilus Swan you could buy in the world.
That's correct. I think it was the cheapest. Must be close to South Africa, so the Caribbean's only about 7,000 miles. That's okay. And I forgot. Oh, and we just thought we could fix anything. So
yeah,
and then sight unseen, and then just deal with what we get.
She's looking really good now, but you fixed virtually everything.
Yeah, we fixed everything. We took the engine out, we took the generator out, we pulled the mast. Yeah.
Okay, quickly, a couple of quick setups, and then Ada's got some curly questions. But then you've got a crew, so you've got a paying contributing crew like we have on Explorer. Tell us how that happened and how you found a skipper and found a chief mate and so on, and then we'll let them have to say a few things.
I mainly found the crew on Facebook. And
okay.
I didn't know any of them beforehand.
Yeah.
And most of them I only met. Not recently. Each crew member did at least 1,500 nautical miles on the boat. So we've sailed with all of them. We know all of them by now. But initially, when they signed up and paid, we didn't meet them or anything like that. Yeah. So Facebook and through the OGR website, because we were listed as an entrant, people just started emailing all the entrants, and then I was the one replying. Yeah. So we got a lot of the crew through that.
Yeah, it's one of the fascinating things about the whole OGR concept is a lot of people I know. The record was hit by Marco on Translator. He had 1,200 crew applications.
Yeah, I had maybe 20.
Okay, that's cool. All right, and a quick one from Melissa. What drew you in, and how did you, what was the initial spark? How did you get on board?
Gerrit and I have a mutual friend that's also part of the Explorers Club, and they did a Explorers Club interview on Instagram, actually, Africa version, and that's the first time I ever heard about the Ocean Globe race and Gerrit and what he was doing, and because it was a South African entry and I was kind of in between yachting jobs, I just thought, oh man, I have to get on that, and emailed him afterwards, and yeah, the rest is history. Met in Cape Town, went sailing, and here we are.
So you're South African as well?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and Rufus, what was your generic to finally end up here in Southampton?
I joined the project quite late. I only joined in the end of April. But in the end of last year, I was working in the Med on a different boat. And then one day, my wife kind of made contact through, because I'm not very big on the socials, but then my wife contacted my wife, just saying, would I be interested? They have an interesting proposal, and then we started talking, and then I had to finish a commitment first, and then I joined the boat in April.
But we met. I think we met about 10 years before.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Keep it in the family.
Yes, we met while I was busy with a similar project, taking an old boat and refitting it, and they had the catamaran next to us on the dock at the time. But this was 10, 11, even 12 years ago, maybe. And so that's where the connection was. Yeah.
That's cool.
20 years ago, when you were 18, I think, you crossed the Atlantic without any sailing experience. How did you have that idea? How did it come? And today you are a skipper on a boat who will circumnavigate with 11 people on board? 8 people on board.
When I just finished school, I wanted to experience adventure, and I wanted to go and travel, and I happened to speak to a young guy who was working in the yachting industry at the time, and he advised if I want an adventure and I want to be sailing and I wanted to go travel, I should go walk on the docks in Cape Town and see if I can look for a boat with a foreign flag on the back and ask if I can get a ride. And 6 weeks later, Italian guy gave me a ride on a ketch, a 55-foot Mikado ketch, and I've never sailed any any miles at that time, but my job was to cook and to clean, and he would then teach me the rest. So that was it.
And today you are, I think, before the project, you are already a professional skipper now.
Yes, not a professional racing skipper though. This is my first race, so this is a new chapter. But I've been running private boats for the last 7 years together with my wife for the first few years as well. Yeah.
And with what feeling, and this is my last question, then I give you the microphone back. With what feeling are you taking the start here on 10th of September, because it's your first race, with a competitor spirit, to want to catch maybe not the first one, but why not? Or with adventure spirit, more about feeling than...
It's definitely a bit of both. In the beginning, it was more about the adventure spirit, but I'm being swept up into a bit of the competitive.
Since you read the fins last night, isn't it?
Yes, in the beginning I didn't really care too much about things like weight and strategy, but I think it will be good sportsmanship to do a bit of competitive in between. But the primary is definitely the adventure. It is an adventure race. And we keep reminding each other as well as a crew, you know, when things get quite serious, we just remind ourselves this is an adventure race and we are in it for the adventure as well and to have fun along the way.
Yeah. We're still cutting teeth. We're still cutting teeth.
Keep the mic, Lisa. Keep the mic because I have a question for you too.
Cutting the T-bones.
The toothbrush.
Yeah, you have to save weight.
Yeah.
You are the chief mate. You are also the navigator on board. And when I heard that you are the one in charge of the sextant and the celestial navigation, I was thinking you are so young. When did you start? When did you learn? And how is that like?
I actually started in the yachting industry, also like Rufus, but as a stewardess, and then worked my way up on deck. and I did the Yachtmaster Ocean cross Atlantic in 2020, and absolutely loved it. And yeah, went on to do the Officer of the Watch courses, and wasn't really sure if I was going to get back into the yachting industry after that, and just thought this is an opportunity to learn and to use, you know, weather facts and naptics and all the things that you learn about in the Officer of the Watch that are that you never use on yachts anymore. So yeah.
So what do you do when you're not sailing? What's the other part of your life?
Well, at home, we live on a small holding. My parents have we have lots of dogs and cats, and but yeah, free diving. I'm also a free diving instructor, and yeah. But I've been sailing. I mean, I've had a permanent job for the last 3-4 years, so transatlantic twice a year, and yeah, not much time.
So you're both in the industry, so to speak. Gerrit, you're the mysterious guy in this. You're backing the whole thing.
He's the doctor, remember?
He's the doctor. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Doctor of philosophy.
No, geography.
Oh, it's similar. I said philosophy because you've got to be a bit like that to maintain a group of people on a small boat. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, what's in it for you? You know, you're the one that's bankrolling it, taking all the pressure and this, that, and the other, and you're obviously sailing all the way. You know, all the way.
I'm asking myself that question every day.
Okay, give us an explanation. How do you feel right now? You know, I know it's a hell of a journey.
Well, we passed our safety check yesterday, so the stress level's half. Yeah, so now I just want to go sailing.
Yeah.
But I guess that doesn't really answer your question. So, in short, I was working at the university in South Africa, in Stellenbosch, for a few years while I was doing my PhD, and I was hating every moment. And we were doing the charter company there, the ocean expeditions at the same time. So that was kind of just what I did on the side. And so I wanted to move more into that. And so I was looking for a big project so that when I moved from the university to yachting, sailing, I was looking for a big project. And the timing was perfect. And it just seemed like a very, very good platform for building a company and a brand and getting experience and things like that. So from a commercial aspect, that was the reason. But personally, it's just something I would really like to do.
Yeah, cool. So I just get Melissa to. I was going to get you to do it. No, that'll be a better opinion here. Just run us through some of the crew, their backgrounds and their characters. What's the mix on board?
Half woman, half man on board.
Yeah, we're going to be 8 for most of the legs, possibly 9 on the third leg, and we have a good 50-50 mix. So our youth crew, Aurora, is from the UK, and then we have Brittany, who's from the US, and she has tall ships experience. She's going to be one of our watch leaders. Then we have, she's also one of the medics on board. We have Ebru, who's Turkish German. She has club sailing experience, and then myself, and then skipper Rufus. Gerrit. We have Fergus, who is also from the UK. He's actually trying to be one of the first, I think, to summit the 7 summits and circumnavigate the globe via 3 capes. Then we have Justin from the US, and then we might join us on the third leg.
That's cool, quite a mix. We forgot to mention the boat. You got a Swan 43.
Swan 53.
Oh, 53. No. 53 rather. So you got a Swan 53, and you did the. I'll come back to you, Gerrit. You did the Cape de Rio race after you finished your refit, and I know it was a bit of fun. Describe to me what happened and what you learned from that.
So we did the refit in Cape Town, the first of 2 big refits. The second one was unplanned and unbudgeted. But no, we did the Cape de Rio race. I think we departed on 6th January, and we had a great skipper, Justin, who was a previous director for Toit race, so it was an ocean sailing experience. But we didn't do too many sea trials after the refit. So the Cape de Rio race was our sea trial. So we ended up breaking a lot of things, amongst other things our satellite communications. And so it took us a long time to get a across Atlantic because we didn't have any really good weather information, and we got stuck in the high a lot. And it's something that Victoria on Transit 9 also complained about a lot, just the size of the South Atlantic high in January. But yeah, no, it was a great experience, and we learned a lot about the boat and what to fix and what's really important.
Yeah.
So Melissa skippered the boat from Rio to St. Lucia in the Caribbean,
Yeah.
and then Rufus and I joined over there. We sailboat over to the Azores in France,
Yeah.
and then we had a great time in Brittany,
Yeah.
doing a lot of work on the boat again, and then we just sailed it across to Southampton last month.
Okay, so how close is the connection in your mind? I'll ask each of this to the original Whitbread races. Like, you know, we're using different boats, we're using different equipment, and it's a hell of an adventure. But do you feel connected to the guys 50 years ago and ladies 50 years ago?
Well, to be honest, I think I'm a bit too young to answer that question. But I think that I definitely relate. Well, I think I relate very strongly with some of the struggles they had at that time. I think a lot of those boats were new, but I also know they were brand new, so they had lots of issues. And so I think in that aspect, we relate very strongly. We often fix things 3 times and then just hope and pray that they work. And so, I think there's a lot of similarities in the innovation aspect of the race. You just have to keep making a plan and working on it and solve problems all the time. There's no short team or team of engineers that prep the boat for you and you just go sailing and hope for the best. And then if something breaks, you've got a short team that fixes everything while you're in the hotel. We don't do that. We're on the boat 7 days a week, 14 hours a day working on getting stuff sorted. So I don't know if it was like that in 1973, but I imagine it was.
It sure was. They were still building boats because they cost the start line. All this
no.
sort of money and time and
It
all
was
that
Great
stuff.
Britain too.
Yeah,
They were building bunks in the Atlantic race.
Yeah.
Or the Atlantic League, sorry. Yeah.
absolutely. How do you feel, Melissa? Do you connect to that, or is it just a personal adventure and so on? You know, and what's your objective? Why are you doing it? You know, like, what do you hope to achieve out of it?
A bit of both, really. I think the sort of the retro aspect is the most attractive. Like I said, you learn about all these things that in the super yachting industry you don't use anymore. And yes, obviously the sense of adventure and it's easy to say I want to sail around the world and I want to do a circumnavigation, but actually doing it is a whole different story. So yeah, there's always a bit of you can't wait until it's done so that you can say yes, I did it. But I think the main objective is not to come last, hopefully. And but yeah.
Melissa, what's the secret on your boat? Because since you arrived here, I think you were one of the first boat arriving a few days already here. Every time I see someone getting out from Sterna, it's all smiling, all good mood. What's the secret in that boat to keep the crew so happy? Is the skipper's secret? Is that you? It's you or Melissa?
It's better to ask the crew. It's better to ask the question to the crew. But we all joke around a lot, and we try to not take ourselves too seriously. And we have quite a good open communication. I feel maybe some will differ, but I think everyone will agree that we can all take a joke, and you have to keep it light if we want to spend 8 months in such a small space. We need to be able to communicate openly and talk about things and address things as it comes up, and also just not take it too serious and joke around. So we joke around a lot, maybe sometimes too much with inside jokes for visitors, but yes.
What's the age? What's the average age on board?
Middle age. Our youngest
So this is the secret. You have to have a crew middle age, all the same age.
Yes.
But we cover 3 generations.
Fully developed brains. We've got our youngest crew member is 23, and our oldest crew member is in late 50s. So we've got a big range. We've got in 2 in the 30s, 3 in the 40s. So we've got a balance of
So, as I was saying about Kirsten winning the GGR, sailing seems to have gone boom all of a sudden. I know there's quite a few people watching it. You're going to be sailing home, so you better not be last. Is that intimidation? Because you're members of the Royal Cape Yacht Club, right? And they'll be right behind you. I mean, it's quite fantastic fun for us as the organisers to have a South African entry, and you know, see how do you feel about all that? You know, going home.
I really look forward to going home. I haven't been in 5 or 6 months now, but I think that I try not to think about it too much because we don't know how much time we'll have there, you know. So and we don't know exactly what we're going to break along the way and that we'll need to fix. So I'm just trying to be super focused on the race and not thinking about going back to Cape Town. But it's something I think most of us really look forward to. You know, the beer is half the price, so that's a good motivator. And you know, it's our backyard. We know everyone there. You know, and I think it's a very productive place for us to get work done. And so I'm personally very much looking forward to going to Cape Town, spending time there.
You are the owner, but what is your position on board?
My position on board is crew.
Ah.
Cameraman. No, I joke, but I personally believe that it's extremely difficult to manage a project like this if you're the team leader, the manager, the finance guy, and skipper. Like, I think that combo is you have to have a lot of experience in all those aspects to be able to pull that off and pull it off successfully. And so I knew from the very beginning that I won't take any leadership roles on board. And so that's why I was looking for very competent people like Rufus and Melissa.
And like your manager too.
And like my manager, Michelle,
who is here today.
No, exactly. So it's really a team effort from the beginning, and you need to delegate, which is very difficult if it's your boat and you need to delegate certain things. But you have to be comfortable with that and just keep your mouth shut. And
I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Captain
exactly.
Coconut, it's fine. I'm not even on board. Anyway.
No, that's exactly it. So it's a team sport, and you have to work as a team, and you need to prioritize that first. And so, I hope that answers the
Aida,
question.
you're the manager of Explorer. I'm the sort of team boss of Explorer. We're both not on board. How do you feel about that?
I speak about STERNA today, especially because I'm here to every boat. What I saw, because the last boat arrived yesterday, Galliano and Secure. Since the very beginning, I watch you, all of you arriving here in the marina. Every boat is different, not the boat, the people, the project, the atmosphere on board. And and I try to just to understand a little bit about you, all of you, and you, Gerrit. I'm afraid I'm wrong, but anyway, from the beginning, when I listen to you speaking, I'm wondering what's the reason, why you wanted to do that? Because I feel like it's a mix about the sport, about the boat, but more about like someone who read books, a lot of books, and wants to achieve a dream or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like I think it's just you know.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not philosophical enough like Tapio, but it's a very deep desire, and I don't question it. If you start to question it, you tend to go down some alleys that you'd rather not go down.
Yeah.
So I really love ocean sailing. I think it's definitely a passion of mine. It's one of the few places where I feel I can relax. So even when it goes tough, it's much easier.
When did you start sailing? At 18, like this guy?
No, like 20. I think I was 20, 21. I started sailing with my father, Robbie. So yeah, I kind of got it from him.
You know, there's this mystery about, you know, as Aida's saying, you know, why? It's the whole thing. But what I see in really often with the crews and this and that, everyone's in it for different reasons, but there's one constant, and I think everyone looks for a life-defining moment. You know what I mean? They really look for something that they can hang their hat on. You know, like Melissa, oh God, around. I hope we finish, because we want to we did it. You know, and that's really one of the big things that's on offer with the OTR. You know, you can, at all levels, from skippers to mates to crew, you know, to support crews, you know.
But there's something special about going around the Clipper Way. You know, going down by the 3 Great Capes and Cape Horn. That is the attraction. I think that even for naturalists, like most of our crew, the Southern Ocean is a massive attraction.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
And-
one of the last great wildernesses.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's a massive attraction for a lot of our crew. It's just experiencing the raw Southern Ocean, experiencing big waves, big storms, albatrosses, everything that goes with it.
Can I quote you? Can
Yeah,
I
you
talk
can.
to you in the middle of the big waves and the big storms?
You're welcome to quote me.
Okay. All right.
No, we'll be very scared. But that's part of it, right?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
the part of the challenge. So
So,
fear is a constant. You know,
You have to take the whole package. You can't
Yeah.
pick and choose.
everyone on board will question why they're there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. You know, we all
Okay.
know about that. So
Absolutely, yeah. But I think just shortly going back to, I think why, just coming back to the attitude that our team have
Yeah.
in terms of approaching the race. You know, but we are 100% in it to have fun and to get around.
Yeah.
But I initially also was just into it for the adventure, and my mindset changed a lot as well, because I realized that if we're going to make each port in time, you have to race. Like you can't relax
it's party time.
because you're going to miss the next start. And,
Yeah.
and you have to really push hard and push the boat hard, because you don't know if you're going to get stuck for a week.
Yeah.
And then you have to push for all the small gains
Yeah.
to get to the next start in time, to provision, relax,
Yeah.
do what you have to start again. And so inevitably, I think we've become very competitive. And I think it's that competitive spirit that drove us to be here first. And I believe we finished our registration first, and we finished our safety check yesterday, and I hope we were the first to do that.
Looks as handy. But did you pass everything? Or
We've
got
got
defects?
we've got two small issues. We
Oh,
just have-
jeepers, you're doing really well.
we have
That's
to
fine.
we have to install our bunk reclaiming straps on
Oh, yeah.
off bunks.
Yeah.
And
tie
Secure the
tie the bilge pump handle onto.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty serious. Yeah.
So I think
Well,
those
that's
are
pretty
the two main
Yeah.
items we have to focus on next week, and then get that done.
No, that's a credit. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, but I think we're all very competitive, but we
Yeah.
act like we're not. We just like
Yeah.
to joke around.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. One of the things that we talk sailing things, if there's any sailors still left watching this, but the beauty of these type of boats, the Swans, is that they will get up to hull speed pretty easily. When I say easily, let's say say it's taking you that's a 10. A 10 in effort to get the boats to hull speed to make the miles. And if you want to get an extra 15%, you've probably got to put in another 5 units of effort. You know what I mean? And that's where it gets challenging. But they're good boats to sail.
What I like about our boat is it surfs very well.
Yeah.
And during the Cape to Rio, our top speed surfing a wave was 16 knots.
Yeah.
And Tapio promised me during dinner one night that I'll get it to 25 in the Southern Ocean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think we'll be making good speed in the Southern Ocean.
Yeah. Okay. We forgot to mention Ted, by the way. This is Citrain Bear, and that's our charity. You're going to get one. Every one of the entrants is going to get a Ted. They get to name it and stuff, and then they'll sail around the world with you all as well. And Citrain is all about motor neuron disease, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia. Anyway, so that's cool. Would you like to sign off, Aida? Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Keep your passion, keep your smiles. It's always a pleasure to come next to your boat every day to have some good vibes. So thank you very much, and we'll follow you, of course, during the race. And if you want to join us tomorrow, don't forget, we will meet Galiana with Tapio, the skipper, and the youngest crew on board, who is a girl. So come here at 10:30 in the race village. See you tomorrow, London.
Sounds good.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.